What's up, Santa Clarita? Alex Hollander here again, and this is the SCV Life Podcast, and I'm super excited because today I got two of my best friends on the show, community members, Jordan and Tiffani with an I, Glover. What's up, guys?
Hey, thanks for having us on.
Yeah. Did you guys ever think you'd be on a podcast with me?
Definitely not.
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you guys don't know who these two are, these are obviously my good friends. Jordan here is a Celtics fan, but he's also the youth leader for the ministry over at Higher Vision Canyon Country. And then Tiffani has a whole bunch of things under her belt. She's an educator for LAUSD.
Yeah.
She's the Canyon High School varsity girls cheer coach, or not even girls, they're boys and girls.
Yeah, just
varsity cheer coach.
Yeah.
And then she also won 2022, 23?
22? Was the year we won?
under 40.
Oh, we won the same year.
We won the same year.
So 2022, 40 under 40 SCV.
Wow, that was 2 years ago already. That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyways, they're very distinguished people here in Santa Clarita.
Distinguished.
I wouldn't say that. Yeah.
We here.
Yeah. How long have you guys been in Santa Clarita?
I've been here since I was like 5, so 2000.
Okay. 2000.
Yeah.
Well, I've been here since 2004, 2005.
So
Yeah.
you basically just say your whole life.
Yeah,
You guys have
like
been
since
there.
we were
Pretty
little.
much.
Yeah. Okay. So you grew up here. You have children that
Yeah.
live here. You still reside here, and you guys kind of work or are involved in the community here. So you guys are SCV lifers.
Pretty
We really
much,
are,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Never thought that I would stay here, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah, me too. We went away for a little bit and then we came back, and definitely raising kids. This is like the spot to raise kids for sure.
100%.
That is the definite story I hear from a lot of lifers.
Yeah.
I like how we have a title.
Yeah,
I
you guys
know,
are
lifers. I didn't even know that. That's cool.
SCV lifers.
There you go.
So, what high schools did you guys go to?
I went to Canyon.
Okay.
And I went to Golden Valley and Hart.
Okay.
Boo.
One thing I noticed about people from Santa Clarita, obviously not you because you just went to one school, but a lot of SCVers, lifers, they like jump schools quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all sports based. That's all it is.
Okay. That makes sense. In the real estate industry, like everybody in Santa Clarita that's a realtor went to school out here. So I feel like
That's cool.
Oh, wow.
It is cool, but I feel like an outsider because I didn't. Right. So like when I showed
You're
up,
like, my daughter goes to Canyon though. That's dope.
yeah, that's my tie into the community. Yeah,
That's
definitely. That's kind of why I'm like, I try to be as involved as possible at Canyon and whether that means like highlighting the athletes or just
Yelling at refs at
Yelling
basketball
at refs,
games.
almost
Stop
getting
it.
kicked out.
Stop
Jordan does it too. So like they're
But
together
it's
in
different.
the stands
What's
doing
crazy is I have no ties to Canyon other than you being the cheer coach.
It's just funny.
it got progressively worse after I had Darby Dunn and Eric Cool.
Oh, like on the pod, yeah.
because I was like, you know what, I'm invested.
You're repping them now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're part of the fan club.
Shouts to them.
They're dope.
Yeah. So people might be asking like, why are you guys on the podcast? What's going on? Like,
We're
what's the
asking
deal
the same
here?
question.
Yeah. It's because, you know, the SCV Life Podcast is supposed to be all about people who do life in Santa Clarita, right? And not only do life, but have like ties to the community. And I feel like you guys definitely have that. We have a very small like circle of friends, like a friend group.
Yeah.
And I think all of us in our friend group is pretty tied to the community, but we're not like the community people either. You know, like we kind of have our own little.
We're not the
like,
stereotypical Santa Clarita moms and dads.
Yeah. We're like the offset, like, but we got our own little circle, and I like our circle. We keep it tight, and we're good people. But you guys and me and my family and our families are pretty tied together.
Yeah.
Probably for like the last decade, maybe.
Yeah.
It's been about 10 years.
Wow, yeah.
Almost,
'Cause
yeah.
Kylie.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow,
Yeah.
An Outlaw. Was it Outlaw or was it Grizzly?
We met at Outlaws. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, as Tiffani is a cheer coach, she's done youth cheer before she got into high school cheer coaching, and she coached at Canyon, and that's where I met them. My daughter has been a cheerleader under Tiffani for like 10 years now, almost.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And that relationship has built through that, and we've grown to be friends. We've actually done ministry together. It gets kind of deep. Like I officiated their wedding.
He baptized us the weekend before our wedding.
Bro gave
so
me
that was
pretty much a haircut trying to dunk me into that pool.
That was tough.
on a rainy day.
That was tough.
It was crazy.
there's so many inroads. Like we can keep going. Like your oldest daughter has the
same birthday as Alex.
Yeah.
Your oldest daughter's birthday is our wedding anniversary.
Right. Yeah.
There's another one too. I can't remember.
Well, I'm your oldest daughter's
godfather, and
yeah.
his wife is her godmother. It's amazing.
Yeah. So there's just all kinds of stuff. And then like it's a cool full circle moment because when I used to do ministry at a church out in the San Fernando Valley, you guys would attend that church and you would serve like in my ministry, which was really cool. And then now, like looking back again, almost now at this point, it's like 5 years from that point.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Now Jordan is leading a ministry and Tiffany's in ministry at a church out here, and it's really cool to kind of see like the
full circle.
Growth,
yeah, it's really cool. So with all of that, I thought I'd ask you a question and just stop talking for a second.
Oh, good.
You know, if you guys had to describe your role right now in the community, right? And we can ask each of you that question. How would you say your role, or what is your role in the community in like one sentence or two?
I would say the assignment right now is just to influence as many, I guess, like high schoolers, junior high students, just the youth in general, as many students as I can as possible. You know, we want to not only be there for them through like the good and bad times, but like we want to support them in any way that we can. So like basketball games, go to games. I want to go to any event that you have. I want to be a part of and just kind of stay connected with you and do life with you. Yeah.
Very similar to Jordan. Like I am a high school cheer coach. I help Jordan with his youth ministry at our church. And we're constantly finding ourselves in weird ways, like mentoring people younger than us. And that's something that, it wasn't necessarily something we sought out to do. But right now I just think it's all about mentorship and doing life with the youth in Santa Clarita and just impacting them in whichever way we can. Mostly positive, I hope. But just being there for them and just supporting them through, like you said, the good and bad times, and not just church stuff, but just life.
Yeah. I think it's funny because I don't think anybody really sets out in the beginning to be a mentor. It just kind of happens, you know? And it's a sign of one age, like you're getting older and people look up to you and people
tell us about it.
Not even 30 yet.
Almost.
But I mean, and you guys have always been kind of like not the babies, but the younger in the crew, or the, you know,
always.
And it's just kind of exciting to kind of see that. How did you guys both get started in leadership? Like, what inspired you guys to take whatever steps you're taking? Not just both in ministry, but also in like life and in career. Like, what inspired you guys?
Well, let's be real. Okay. So when you first approached me for helping out with your youth ministry over at the church we were at before, I was voluntold, and I was like not really looking for it, and it wasn't really my thing at the moment. I grew to love it though. It was really cool, really inspiring. But I thought that chapter closed when we decided to leave that church in general. But then, you know, one of my boys, our pastor, he prophesied over us or over me. And then that was it. And I've just been trying to walk into obedience as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my call just for ministry, and my inspiration for ministry. But in whole, I feel like we've just grown a lot, diving in deeper with our faith. So it's kind of affecting everything and kind of giving us inspiration for a lot more in our life, family, career, everything. So
I love that.
Yeah. And then for me, ever since a very young age, my mom, God bless her, she has always been about like serving others and being in the community and being a part of our community. And I think because she grew up in the San Fernando Valley, when you go from the valley to Santa Clarita, life is just like so different. It's like night and day. Because in Santa Clarita, it's so much about community and like, you know, getting involved and helping your neighbor, things like that, which was awesome. So from a young age, we were just constantly finding ways to serve our community. And it was just a life lesson that stuck with me. And I did Pop Warner cheer as a volunteer coach from ninth grade all the way past college, up until we were about to have our second daughter. And then I had the opportunity to go to Canyon and coach. And I'd always wanted to go back and coach at my high school. It's just something I love the cheer program, and I was a part of it as a high schooler. So I was like, why would I want to go back and be a part of like the best team ever? And I had the opportunity. He hates it when I say that.
Not true.
But no, I had the opportunity to be an assistant coach for a few years. And then actually the day that I was getting ready to tell the head coach I was quitting, to take a step back, because Jordan was called into ministry. And with ministry, as you know, it's like you need your wife there. There's a lot that comes with it. And we weren't really sure what the calling was going to be, but we just knew there was assignment that God was giving to him. She looked at me and she's like, hey, so I'm actually going to be stepping away as head coach. Like, are you ready? And I was like, oh my goodness. I got to go talk to my husband because I was just about to quit like right now. And she's like, oh,
Damn.
and I was nervous about it. Like, we were set. I had told, the person who's mentoring now, like 2 weeks before that, I was like, girl, I'm done. Like, I'm done. And she's like, okay. Like, we prayed on it and all that stuff. And then I came home and I told Jordan about it. And he was like, this is like the opportunity you've been waiting for. And so I took it, and it's been great. It's not always easy, but leadership is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome, but it's a lot of
comes with
responsibility.
Yeah.
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 But there's blessings and responsibility.
Absolutely.
And I think that and I think you might know this. I think you know it too, but I know that you know this. Every step that you take in a leadership role and every responsibility that you take on is just kind of leading you to a bigger and better step.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it right away.
No.
I think about like what I was doing at our last church, and that was a big responsibility. And when I had to leave that church, it felt like, all right, what's the next step? Like, where does that go from there? And you try different things, and you feel like maybe there's a calling here in this direction. But I do feel like what I learned in that season of life has definitely helped me in my like career season of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Both in how I communicate and with clients and people, and also just kind of like, even though I'm a jokester and I mess around quite a bit, I do have a big heart for people.
Absolutely. 100%.
So like with all of that said, like I think each one of those steps leads to like the next, right? And we never know where it's going to end.
Yeah.
It could lead in a direction you don't really want to go in, but that's the direction kind of like what, when you were voluntold, and now look at where you're at, Sometimes it's not what you want. It's what is going to be given to you.
Absolutely.
100%.
So it's kind of cool. I think every time I think about our relationship or your lives, I just think about how cool it is.
Yeah. So much has happened. Like we've known each other for a long time, but I just feel like it's amazing to see like you said, just all these little things that are adding up to like these bigger blessings. And like it was interesting because when you guys did come into our lives, we just knew you kind of from afar. Like I knew you as a parent, as one of, the cute little cheerleaders, but we didn't know you. And then as we got to know you and we got to serve under you and your wife, it was just different. And you guys started discipling us as we became new parents, and it was like a natural thing. Like we didn't even know what discipleship was, but it just kind of happened. So
right.
It's cool.
Yeah. And that's my approach typically. Even when I was in ministry, I never I didn't put titles on stuff.
Exactly.
Typically, it's just a personal thing of mine. Like even today, I don't put titles on stuff.
Yeah.
I just kind of keep it as all natural as possible, and it's just cool. It's cool. Did you guys learn any lessons, in youth ministry, like that you kind of apply today, or like, I guess like the short amount of time that you guys were with me over there at the other church, like, is there anything that you're using today now that you like picked up with?
Dude, the first thing you told me that I still am working on, though.
Oh no, is it good or bad?
No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
It's like,
good.
Don't share it.
It's embracing the silence.
Yes.
And because I have to think about how I was as a teenager, as I don't want to talk to you. So I kind of have to approach it with that mentality of like, it's okay to just not answer at the moment, or give them that space and time to be able to feel comfortable and answer, and not just be like, come on, man, I'm asking you a question. Please.
Yeah. Poking at them to open their mouth. Yeah. It's a weird thing.
For sure.
Youth ministry has allowed me to embrace awkwardness with so much gusto. It's just like, I love it. I love
You like-
when
But
you're
you like
awkward.
being
craves the
awkward, though,
awkwardness. Like, it does not bother him. He's just like, it is what it is. Let's keep going.
But that's because of youth ministry.
Yeah, 100%.
I wasn't like that before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, when you're dealing with young, impressionable, like growing kids, you're going to be awkward because they think you're lame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. They're like, you're so old. and I'm like,
Nothing
we're not.
you do is gonna
It's
impress
cool.
them.
Nothing
like,
is
at all.
cool.
Right.
So you're just there hoping that eventually
It is like, if you want to be humbled, please serve in youth ministry. And it is the most humbling experience of your life, but it's also like the best blessing ever.
100%.
Yeah. I think it's funny because like we know that it's awkward, right? Because we're in it, right? And we know that these kids think we're like corny for the most part, right? But then anybody older than you is like, oh, you're
That's
so
amazing.
cool.
You're
like,
doing so
the way you connect with these kids.
I'm just like, what?
We have the best, like, we call them moms. Like, we have the best church moms ever. And, like, they love Jordan. They're like, oh, son, you're doing such a good job. Like, we're so proud of you. And, like, Jordan would be like, you have no idea how awkward the last, like, hour and a half was of trying to do a message and, like, connect with kids and, like, do discussions. And, like, it could get awkward, but like it is really cool seeing Jordan. He's grown in the awkward silence. Like that very first time he served, and it was like his first day. Kind of, he had to take over.
So
Just to make fun of you a little.
Low key. And I remember sitting there back of him. I was like,
you're terrible.
I was like, it's okay, just breathe, man, breathe. But like seeing him from then till now, and it hasn't been that long. It's been less than a year, but he's been able to really take those lessons that you taught us, you know, not even intentionally, just from us being around you and doing life with you. And he's really applied it. So it's been dope to see.
So, like, story time real quick. When we were at the altar and Alex was marrying us,
Oh, yeah.
my man called me out in front of the whole...
So many people.
Like, the whole reception, everybody. And was just like, I don't know if you guys see this, but Jordan on his little vow book, it shows...
Breathe.
it
Keep
shows
breathing or something
his
like
like
that.
little inspirational things. Just breathe. You're almost done. Last line.
And
You
I
guys
remember-
have no idea
You're
how
so
awkward it is for me to like do public speaking in general. So I say that because the first day that I had to get up on stage and like, you know, start talking to the youth, I was like,
We
oh,
turned
man.
all the lights off. The lights
All
were
the
like
lights were
pitch
off.
black in the room. It was hilarious.
I could just see
he
what's
just had
called
a spotlight.
Yeah,
One
I
of
could
our
just-
students, remember she said it's like a comedy. She's like, it looks like a comedy
Yeah,
show.
it looked like I was doing stand up. I was like, that's crazy. Like, this is really awkward. I don't know what to do, but praise God, I got through it.
He did good.
The hardest parts are when the group is small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hard because it just is, you know.
You can like see every single person's facial expression.
Yeah. But that's the most rewarding part. I tell Amanda this sometimes too. Is like, it's good when it's like a small amount of people, because you know, our kids go to your youth ministry, right? So we always ask them like, how was it? What'd you learn? What did it? You know, just typical parent stuff. And one of the things I'll ask is like, how many kids were there? Like, what did it? You know, because I'm clocking in my head like how I'm gauging you. You know, like as a
Like the growth.
yeah. I'm from afar, like looking at you, you know, and I'm like, okay, cool, you know, because the beginning is so tough, the growth part is tough, but it's the most impactful because, like, if you can I say convert, and I don't use that word correctly because you're not converting kids, but if you can connect, that's the right word. If you can connect with kids, in the early stages of this youth ministry, right, and get them totally bought in and totally supportive of what the mission is and what you're trying to do and what the church is trying to do, and in effect change their lives, they're always going to be, like, I say loyal, but they're always going to be all in for Christ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those are the ones that you're going to see go on to like also be in ministry one day.
Wow.
You know, like I look back at some of these kids. I have a youth student from way back in the day who is now like the lead, like the campus pastor of one of the shepherds.
Yeah.
No way.
Over in Simi, right?
So him, but he wasn't my direct student. He's like an offshoot student, but like one of my direct students is like opening the East Valley campus.
Oh,
That's
wow.
amazing.
So it's just cool to see stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? And that's like, that was a day one, like there's only 6 people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah. It's like I said, youth ministry is humbling. But it's been a blessing in this season with our students that we have at our church because they are very honest with us. Very honest. And at first I was like, I really had to prepare myself because I'm like, I'm about to ask a question. And like, I know we have mostly boys in our group right now. Because that's just the demographic we have. And then we have your daughters that come. And it's different with your daughters because they know us outside of a church lens, but these other kids only know us from this building, basically. So I know your kids are 100% honest with me when I ask them, like, off to the side. But these boys just had at it. They're like, yeah, we really don't want anything to change. Like, we had, like, a whole vision board night, like, you know, like, what's your vision for a group and all this stuff. And they're like, I'm happy. Like, as long as you're teaching the Bible and, like, we're getting to fellowship, I'm good. And make sure you have snacks. Like, that was like, make sure you have snacks.
They just want snacks, like snacks and community. So, and that's what we try to provide. It is cool, though, because we do see a lot of fruit in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, just recently, I had a student say, like, can you pray for me for God to give me vision? And I was like, what? I just wasn't expecting that. And, you know, 12-year-old just coming to me for that off of something that I spoke about a month or two ago. I was like, wow, you remembered that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that was crazy to see and just a blessing, honestly.
Yeah, you're giving them time.
Yeah.
You're giving them energy, and a lot of kids don't get that from their parents. You know, even parents in the church. You know, obviously, church people are definitely not perfect. You know, in any way. Being in the church really doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, but with some of these kids, you know, they have parents, and no knock on the parents, but you know, I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes I don't have enough time to give all these kids attention like that. All my kids, you know, multiple. So like having two adult figures in their lives that are going to listen to them for an hour or whatever the time period is, you know, every single week is, it's a lot more, there's a lot more, they're paying a lot more attention than you think they are. You know, every word is actually being heard, you know, so it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You just kind of answered my next question. I was going to ask, like, what's the most rewarding part of like being in youth ministry? But I feel like that's one of those rewards.
Yeah, definitely the little blessings, or not little, but the blessings that we just see within the students. They just kind of drop little nuggets on us, and we're like, oh man, you actually listened, or like you feel comfortable to come to me. Like that's big, you know. I took another student to a man camp thing that we do over at our church, and I took him with us, and he said he really liked it, and that now he wants to go to youth camp. So
there you go.
You know, stuff like that. That's very inspiring to keep going when you don't feel like you always have gas in the tank. So
yeah, for sure. Those things definitely will fill you up for sure. For you, like, you know, you have a lot on your plate. Obviously, you got
a little bit,
2 kids, coaching, youth ministry, a job. You know? And I don't feel like you just have a regular job. I feel like you have like a career path kind of job, you know? So with all that said, like with all of that, like how do you balance all of that? I feel like this is a general question for women with kids, but like in a job, but.
Honestly, the only way I can do anything that I've been blessed with, like my job and stuff, is not only with my husband's support, but also just our village that is supporting us. Like, so 100%. My parents, our siblings, both of our parents, like if we didn't have people, even like you and your wife have watched our kids for us while we went to work. So it honestly, if it wasn't for specifically my mom, who like she actually retired last April to take care of our kids for us. So we didn't have to worry about childcare. We didn't have to do all that. So I can do what I do because of the support system I have. And that's it. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I wish, like, I'm a little envious of you guys, you know, because you guys have, how old's your oldest?
She's 4 now. She's gonna be 5.
Okay, so 5 years. Dang, that goes so fast.
It goes so fast, right? I'm like, feel old yet?
Yeah, I do feel old. But I'm a little envious because, like, you know, I had a mom and then and a mother-in-law in our lives, but and it's probably our fault. We never asked, you know, for us like help, and it was like more maybe like a pride thing because when we had kids we were so young.
Yeah.
So we were like prideful, like, oh,
I can do this on my own.
Yeah. I think my wife always felt like other parents were looking at us funny, things like that, you know, like, oh, you got all these kids and you guys are like in your early 20s, you know?
Yeah.
And so we never wanted help, but that came at a detriment to a lot of things in life that we could have probably been more impactful on, you know? I think we still did a great job at what we did, but
absolutely.
But yeah, I think that was one of those things, like, you know, I'm a little envious because, you know, having that tribe behind you is pretty big.
Yeah. It changes everything when you have a support system. But it definitely, there are times even now, like, I feel like more in me, I think it's the mom guilt thing. And I know you guys have dad guilt. I'm not saying it's not a thing, but mom guilt I think is a little different. Because there's times like because of my busy schedule and because of things that, you know, we need to get done, I don't like to ask like for even more support because I'm like, you know, you do so much. I really don't want to go out of my way to ask. So it is like having to like, hey, and my mom has said this to us, like, we're here to support you. Like, we want you to do like what you've been assigned to do and stuff, but like you need to ask for help. Like you can't do everything by yourself. So it's hard.
So with that said, we're going to go out this weekend because I'm just joking.
Just kidding, Mom. I have to ask my mom first.
That is crazy. Like when you think about that, like you used to, when you were a kid, ask your parents to go out, and like now you have to ask them to go out again.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's just so that they can watch the kids. It's
your
crazy.
daughter and be like, hey, can you babysit?
Yeah, it's like, hey, hi, can you? Like,
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have built-in babysitters too, though, with cheer.
Yes, I do.
oh,
And
God.
They
with
watch
youth
my kids
ministry,
all the time.
maybe too. Maybe you don't trust those kids yet.
I got you, bro, at the games.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Everybody in the stands takes care of
Yes.
Zoe.
Yeah.
It's
hilarious.
It's amazing, actually. I like will look back and I'm like, okay, someone else's mom's got her.
Harmony has her now.
Harmony has her. Yeah, that was yeah. But and that's the best part I will say about living in Santa Clarita. And when you're a part of anything, you have even more people that like just love on you and want you to be successful for the most part.
Yeah. Well, depends on who you are.
Exactly. We're blessed. We have a lot of people that want us to be successful. So like, there you go.
There you go. I'm in a very environment that's very jealous, so I get a little heat.
But
sometimes.
you have so many people that hype you up, dude.
Oh yeah, for sure I do.
We be liking all your little videos.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, all your little videos.
Those little videos over there you make. And this is about to be one of those little videos.
I know.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. Since you brought it up, this wasn't in my notes or anything, but like, how weird is it for you guys to kind of see my transitions, right? Like from like,
it's been interesting.
Like, and you didn't know me before when I was like a rapper. So like if you follow my career transitions, it's kind of wild. Like when I look back on it, like,
bro, it's crazy.
It's a
like,
crazy
because you
life.
just take these huge leaps.
Yeah.
I'm with it though. Yeah, I'm definitely with it. It was interesting seeing you as a youth pastor, and then like you being like, oh yeah, and I used to be a rapper, and then
like,
we
what?
literally spent like an hour and a half on
Googling
YouTube
you.
trying to find you.
No way.
And then when we
Yeah,
did
you're
find
right,
you,
yeah.
we were like, yeah.
Like, I think that went one of your songs went like back and forth in the group chat for like a good like
For a little
2-3
bit, yeah.
months. Like
It was great.
We would like someone would randomly just send it because
Why did I not
Amanda sent
remember that?
it.
Trauma.
I remember it. Trauma.
I
You
blocked
should've
it out, yeah.
blocked it. Yeah, that was funny. But it's been, you know what? I will say it's cool. I think in the beginning, I think for us because we only saw you in a certain light. And I think that deals with anyone who goes into ministry. Like now looking at it, it's like people expect one thing of you. And even though we knew you on a deep personal level, like we had spent time like in your home, like you spend time in our home with our kids. We're like awesome together. I just think it was growing pains, right? Because like we were like that's our big bro, but like things are changing and people do change, and also learning like just like how we're changing with age, you change with age because you're not that old either.
Thank you.
He is old.
You're pretty old.
Now he's old, but at the time he wasn't.
I have not breached 40 yet.
We're getting close.
I have not breached 40 yet.
We're getting close, people. But no, I think it did have growing pains. I feel like there was a time when our friendships was kind of weird for a little bit, but like, you know, I think that just is a normal part of life too.
Yeah. And I think it's just like the evolution of all of us kind of growing into certain things.
Sure.
And I don't want to say like outgrowing certain things, but I don't know how to explain it. More like more things kind of are emphasized, or I don't really know how to explain it, but overall, just us growing in general,
For
seeing
sure.
just the growth.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that. I always just think back to I'm kind of switching gears here, but like the wedding situation, right? Where you have the joke, like
My gosh.
I literally have like in my notes here is like I made some jokes during your wedding. Let's settle it. Was it awkward or funny?
It was awkward,
Bro,
right?
I
It
was
was
like,
funny. I don't care
bro,
what
I
you
was
say.
like, I'm gonna kill you in front of all
But
my
I
family.
will say,
Like-
because Jordan comes from, most of his family are Catholic.
Yeah.
So, like, they were very apprehensive when they're like, there's no priest. Like,
Bro,
what is
it
this?
was so
but they were
let's
like,
go.
he is so good. I love him. I was like, right, that's our pastor.
So full thing. they were very confused because they were like, "Oh, mijo, you're Catholic. Okay, cool." And I was like, "No, I'm definitely not."
You just confuse anyone watching
and then
this if they see that.
well, and then like the church that we were using the hall from,
It was a Catholic
It's an
church. It was a
Assyrian
Catholic
Catholic
church.
Oh, it was, yeah.
So when they
So-
looked it up, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
they converted."
yeah, they were like so hopeful and everything. Like my aunt came up to me and was like, "Oh, mijo," and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." No.
Then you came out
But-
in your little suit, and they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's not a priest."
Not at all. Not at all.
That's
Yeah.
cool though. It was
Yeah.
different.
But yeah, it was definitely awkward.
But overall, you did a great job on our wedding
sure.
ceremony.
Okay,
I
great.
really do appreciate it. It was good.
If you would have told me you needed a priest, I would have figured
Got
it
a
out.
costume for
I know,
something.
I
Got
would have
like the little.
I would have got
thing.
licensed. I would have figured it out. I would have figured that one out.
I would have been like, you know what? Stop the wedding. We're not doing this. But no, it was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It was fun.
I think all of those things are cool because it's just so many like little inroads and things like that. And yeah, I mean it's just an interesting full circle moment, and I love that part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like so I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a godparent to 3 kids now. And
Yeah.
my wife and I were just talking about it, like,
You're just, like,
why do
racking them up.
so many people want us to be godparents? It's so cool. Like, we must be like these responsible
awesome.
people. And then I was like, you know, when I was growing up, godparent didn't really mean anything to me except that if my mom were to die one day,
I might have to go live with you.
I'm gonna have to live with my aunt who I don't like that much. I hope you don't watch. She don't watch it. She don't like me.
Dang.
Is it the one we know?
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, she's cool.
I
No,
loved
that
her.
one is cool. Yeah,
She was cool on Zoom.
Dang, hopefully they don't see this. Oh, Corey,
We
we're
need
gonna
to
have to
cut this
delete
one.
that part. But yeah, like I just remember, like,
Yeah.
oh no, if like my mom dies, like I'm going to have to live in this house I don't want to live in. This sucks, you know. But it's just funny. Like we're honored to be godparents. You know, it's really cool. But I have 3 now.
Dang.
Yeah,
Racking them up.
So if anybody's watching and they need a godparent,
You'd have 7 kids to take care of.
I could do it.
You want 2 more?
What?
Got you.
I mean,
No, but I'm saying, like, if he has 3 god kids, and that's a lot of kids. Wow.
yeah.
Wonder if our friend who's having a baby is gonna be like, "Hey, Alex, do you want to be the godmother or godfather?"
Oh, that's the 3rd one.
Did they
Word?
ask you?
Yeah, they asked.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
How come we didn't know about this?
I think you guys were there when they asked.
When?
That holiday bar thing.
When did they ask? We weren't. Maybe we weren't standing
Yeah,
there
maybe
yet.
we weren't paying attention or something.
I think you guys were at the table.
And where were you?
At the table. We were all at the table.
What?
Anyway,
I completely missed that.
They didn't take a video or anything,
no video.
like a picture. Like,
Our-
definitely no.
They don't take videos of anything.
They really don't. Actually,
yeah.
I just thought about that.
We're having this
We
like
love you guys, sorry.
inner
Like
conversation
sub,
right
yeah.
here. Sorry guys. Sorry
We-
people here.
That don't know.
But we
Yeah.
love our friends that we're talking about.
Yeah. So let's get back on track.
Okay.
So it was funny, not awkward. I got that.
A little bit of both.
Little bit of both. Sorry about
Let's
that.
get awkward.
One time
No, it's good.
I took Jordan. He hates the Clippers, low key.
I
Everyone hates
absolutely
the Clippers.
do. I don't know why you love them so much.
People. No one likes
They're
the Clippers.
they're terrible.
All right. This is going to be a clip. We're going to put on the screen who likes the Clippers.
No one.
She says no one. He says they're terrible.
Absolutely nobody.
If you're a Laker fan, you can't vote, but everybody else is allowed to vote. We'll see who likes the Clippers.
That doesn't even make sense.
What do you mean? Why not?
Because that would skew your data, dude. That's
It's
my
true.
educator
It's
coming
very
out of
true.
me. But that would skew your data.
Screw my data. I know you said skew, but I'm
That
saying
was good
screw
word.
the data.
Good wordplay.
That was good though.
Rapper,
That's
you
that
know?
rapper coming in.
Okay, well, we're still doing it though,
Okay.
and Clippers will win. I can skew my data.
Well, it's your post. You can do whatever you want on it.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, we can edit that. So I want to know from you guys, since like faith is kind of like a central theme of your life right now. It's kind of at the moment, I would say, as much as I know you guys, that is definitely a focus for you guys. Is
Yeah,
your
for sure.
relationship with God. How is that impacting like your students? How is that impacting the people around you, your friends, your family? Like, you know, how is that impacting the people around you?
What I've seen is like the more I talk about my faith, the more people randomly are just like, "Oh, I'm also a Christian, and I also believe in that." And I'm just like, "Oh, word." Like we were just silently not knowing that for however many years, or it's even leaking into my family. Like even my mom likes to come whenever she visits. She'll come to the church, and it's been truly a blessing just to see all that growth in general. It's just, and then seeing like how our girls are.
They love going to church.
They love going. Nova legit is just like, am I going to church today? Am I staying for both services? Because I really want to stay for both.
We tried to like leave early because like we weren't serving like one Sunday.
And she's like,
she said, I have second service. And I'm like, okay.
I was looking at her like, okay, but we don't. So
let's go to IHOP. You want pancakes? And she's like, I have second service.
It's just like, give me my hot chocolate. Let me hit second service. We're good. So
yeah, it's been good. I mean, I think kind of the same. We find like that we're more open with it. Like a lot of my cheerleaders, I found out that a lot of them are Christian or like they're searching for like what their answer is for them at work because like Jordan, he like will post daily devotionals during this time. And a lot of my coworkers, the very few that I allow to be friends with me on social media, they were like, oh my gosh, that's like, it's really cool to see like your husband like doing that. Like I'm a Christian too. I'm a believer. Like it's really encouraging to see someone like taking that step. And I was like, yeah, like it's amazing because that's something that's like so not Jordan. Like, you know, Jordan, like him doing that was like, wow, like you're going to do it. And post like videos of yourself talking is just so not like him. And they're like, he's just such a natural. Like, and I'm like, it's really rewarding to see that. And like, but it has its ups and downs because people have to get used to the fact that like, if you think you're going to make a plan with us on certain days, it's not going to happen because faith is so important to us right now. And it's going to be important to us because as we've grown in our marriage and just in life, we see how important it is to have God at the center of it. So it has its ups and downs, but
it's also not to say that like we don't make time for other things, like because we definitely do, and we see the importance of doing that. It's just, you know, we're gonna put our faith first always. So that's kind of like the foundation that we want to set for our family in whole. Even, you know, our relationships, we want them to also realize like this is what
is important to you.
Exactly. But to circle back on Jordan's so like such a natural at these. If you guys can see my library, like, or my album, whatever, I'm old, bro.
You should
bro. It is like
maybe at the end you'll do like a whole reel
of just one video, and I'm just like, hey guys,
voice cracked.
Or like I'll get through the whole thing and then I stumble on one thing, I'm like, oh, all right, hey guys, this is Jordan again.
It is like I did one video and I was like, I don't know
show
how
off.
No, but I was like, no, I'm saying I did one of the days for you, like because we had like leaders do it, and I was like, how does he do this? Because I was like, hey. And then I was like, what am I even saying? Like, what scripture? Like, it is, like, nerve-wracking.
That week that we had people do it, your daughter actually was, so that was really cool. But the week that they did it, I was like, thank God.
You got a break?
Yeah, I had a break. I was like, dude, it's so stressful for me, like, being on things like that. It's awkward. That's what it is. It's not stressful. It's just awkward. So.
I think there's been a progression, though. Like, you can see, it seems like you're comfortable now, you know?
A little bit. And I did that for two reasons. Two reasons. One, I felt called to do like something during 21 days of prayer and fasting for the students, and then also I think God was like, "Hey, use this to get more comfortable." So then, you know, you can just be more comfortable. I mean, if you see me on stage, I'm like,
that's not true.
I feel like
he's a lot more comfortable now, but yeah, he has progressed over the time.
Yeah, it's conversational.
Yeah.
You know, I was just telling my brother-in-law, he did a presentation yesterday, and he was in front of a bunch of real estate agents. He does like pest control, and he was like, he called the night before, like, dude, how can you help? Like, what do you know? And I was like, your best thing is just be yourself.
And he's such a natural, like he has so much
Yeah.
personality and stuff. So I'm like, you would never think someone like him would even be nervous
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make fun of a group.
But it's just standing in front of people is,
Yeah.
if you don't do it, it's hard, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, especially in that setting, in his setting, and like settings that I'm in, if you're just yourself and you keep things conversational, because none of us are like better or more important than other people. If we're just
Yeah.
ourselves and we're conversational, it's like, it's going to come out great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm trying to bring in general, just with youth, is not like the projection of me being like up here. Yeah, I just try to keep it very, very mellow, very me. As you can see, I'm very mellow. I try to be. She'll disagree for sure.
She sees you at home. That's why
she sees me at home, and I'm
a dork.
Yes.
We all are. We all are dorks.
For sure a dork.
We're all dorks at hearts.
Yeah. I have nothing to say. I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not going to put you on blast.
Yeah. But you guys are making a big impact, and it's big. I mean, if I gave you any advice, focus on the high schools, you know, because the high schoolers will bring the middle schoolers, believe it or not.
Okay.
Not directly, but middle schoolers will look up, like, I want to be part of that, you know? And unfortunately, youth ministry is a game of, like, I hate to say facade, but it's a game of, like, image, because not your image, but, like, the younger kids want to be cool like the high school kids, you know? And the high school kids don't want the younger kids involved. But, you know, if you train up those high school kids to kind of mentor, then they're like, oh, I want to be.
It's a buy-in.
Exactly. If you look at what's going on at Higher Vision, Valencia, right?
Oh yeah, it's super awesome what they're doing.
And it's just it's a bunch of kid-led ministry.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's the most powerful thing about it is that it's their voice, and it's awesome. Yeah.
So I think that's the most organic thing. It's similar to cheer.
Yeah,
right. You bring the high school kids to
similar.
Coach. You know what I mean? And
super similar. And we at our location we definitely have more high schoolers than 100%. Middle schools. But something our pastor, we actually was just talking to him about it. He was like, you know, every 3 to 4 years, there's just going to be a bit, you know, you're going to have a huge turnover because kids go off to college, you know, they graduate. And we have really smart kids who are probably going to get scholarships to go to crazy, you know, universities that they may not stay planted in Santa Clarita for the 4 years. So every 4 years, we're going to get a whole new batch of kids, which is awesome. But it's just being flexible with that and laying a good foundation.
You got to remember too, like what you're doing is the literal definition of like the Great Commission. Like you guys are literally like taking these kids, these high school students for 4 years, and then they're going off and they're going to take what they learned with you to wherever they're going. And that's like essentially what Christianity is supposed to be.
That's all it's about.
Like,
that's what it's about. Yeah.
So some of these longer term like things, like the way, like the church that we had, like one of the things that like I really didn't like about it is that like some of the people that were coming from the valley, and I was trying to have like a localized like
it was a house church,
and I wanted them to take what they learned in the like 3 months or whatever that we were like going strong to like their neighborhoods. You know what I mean? It's never been about hoarding people. You know, that's actually one of my biggest beefs with like some churches is like it's about hoarding people.
Exactly.
When that's like the direct opposite of like what we should, what I think we should be doing. You know. So youth ministry was always cool because that's what it like. That's kind of what it is. You know, like you get the middle schoolers. They go through your system, they become high schoolers, they help you with the middle schoolers, and then they go off and they take it to wherever they're going, you know?
Yeah.
Or they become thriving members of the body as adults.
Exactly.
One or the other, you know?
And something I will say about that, which I do, we got it a little, that seed was planted with your leadership when we were with you during youth ministry and the way and stuff. And then I feel like now we're seeing it cultivate more in our lives when it comes to the fact that like our current pastor, he always makes jokes about like how he's going to send off like all of his commissioned ministers now, aka Jordan, and all of his little friends.
I don't think those are jokes.
No, but like he like says it and like he's not joking, like he's dead serious. He's like, you know, we're going to have lifelong friendship, but like 10 years of ministry together. And he's like, and you guys are going to go out and like, you're going to do what God's calling you to do. And like, I love the fact that our leader is not trying to hoard us. Like he like raises up, like God is his assignment. Like he raises up amazing other leaders so they can go out and do God's work. So
that's why Higher Vision Canyon Country is so fruitful in my opinion. I'm a member of the church, but I'm not involved like how you guys are.
Not yet.
Exactly. And the reason why I even went there is because I sat down with Pastor Anthony and his vision for what church could be 100% aligned with what I think church could be, you know, if done in a certain way, in a biblical way. And there are like certain pomps and circumstances that you have to adhere to because you're under like an established like guidelines of what you have to do, right? But on the underline of that, I think that he sees things very much how I see things, right? Which is why I continue to like go back and I'm there. And I've seen that church when it got launched the second time. I was there day one, right? which is weird to think about because that was almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2.5 years now. 2.25.
Yeah, I think in
2.5,
the summer it's going to be 3 years.
Well, I think they launched in October. So it was like,
Oh, so wow. Yeah.
So like being there for that and seeing 60 people to now seeing an entire full like
almost two services.
sanctuary. And then I don't know what's going on in the second, but the first one's definitely full.
Yeah.
That's fruit of like him seeing things the right way, of like even him saying that joke that you think that I don't think he's joking. Like I think he definitely is.
No,
serious.
he's very serious,
Yeah.
and that's like a
It's
scary
hard for us.
thing for me, definitely, and definitely for you too, because we're both like, what does that look like? And we just kind of gotta trust it.
Higher vision acting. Just kidding.
No, we're just hoping
man.
God allows us to stay in California.
For sure. Okay, I got
That's
you.
our-
Definitely.
I think that's something we are both very like you said, we're lifers. So like that's a big transition. Like a few years ago, there was an opportunity that we thought we were going to be leaving California,
Going back, yeah.
and we didn't. Thank God. And so I think that's something that we're both kind of like, oh no, I don't know if I could.
And I think it's
pick up
just
and start
like
somewhere.
naturally just being so comfortable with where you're
Yeah.
at. I mean, coming back from Arizona and moving directly back into Santa Clarita, it was because we were comfortable, and B, I mean, we found a really cheap apartment surprisingly out here.
And I had a job.
Yeah, she had a job, I had a job, and we
Yeah.
were working in the valley, but we did not want to live there. So
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to be a lifer. I don't want to be a.
I'd be sad.
I just think like when I was there this past weekend and they had all the ministers, commission ministers, people that like they, it was interesting because it was
All
like
Canyon Country.
89% Canyon Country people,
Yeah.
you know, and that is an exact, direct like responsive like leadership style, which I think he nails it.
Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
He is.
And you know all the other things about church, you can love things, you can hate things, you can like you can hate lights, you can love lights, you can hate the style of music, you can love it. Like all that stuff is just like preference, right?
I agree.
Even the preaching is preference, if we're being honest, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all about the heart
true.
of who's leading the church. That's it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I was so against that church actually when we first got there.
Oh, really?
You were with us.
Oh, you know,
We all went together.
Okay.
I was very Pastor Anthony will tell you any day that story. He's like, you were so mean.
Really?
When yeah, dude, I wasn't nice, but I think we all had a little form of church
Church
hurt,
hurt,
honestly.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like apprehensive because I'm like, we just sat and watched the screen. Like I could.
Oh yeah.
That was one of those weekends. So I didn't understand it at the time. So I was not that I wasn't nice. He says I was really mean, but I was like, you know, I was very guarded because I'm like, what is this? Who is this? It was just different. And then we got to know him, and he took time to get to know my husband and like really just show us like he's a true man of God and he just wants to help build the kingdom. So
For sure. So that leads us to say, if you're looking for a church, let 'em know.
Higher Vision Canyon Country.
Yeah, they meet on Sundays.
Sundays at 10 and
Sundays.
11:45, and then we have family night. I'm like a whole little promo.
Yeah, for real.
We have
yeah.
family night the first and third Wednesdays of each month at 6:30.
6:30. Yeah, starting in February.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and if you guys can tell Pastor Anthony, please stop having us shake the hands of people next to us, because I'm not trying to do. I don't bring my hand sanitizer
hey,
with
man,
me.
you
know?
lucky
Lucky,
he's
I think
not.
about
You lucky he's not like how he used to be at his old church. You know, he probably was like, "Now turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor."
Nah, man. Okay, a couple weeks ago, he had everybody hold hands, and I had a stranger next to me, which
Did you hold their hand?
it was a dude, and the
Maybe
dude
like-
was sniffling the whole time, and I hold my hand. It was the clammiest hand ever. It was just like, but I know you, so I trust. You
So
know
it's
what I mean?
okay.
Like, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I didn't
like.
like-
I've
I know why
literally
you're
held your
claiming,
kids.
yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
true.
Like,
You've changed their diapers
yeah,
probably.
and I'm like, I had like after that, we're sitting there, and I had an itch on my nose, and I was like,
I can't.
you know, trying to like, and then the minute I got in the car, I like
Were you, like,
slathered hands.
cleaning?
Anyway, I don't like that, you know. So if you do go to Higher Vision,
Air
Canyon
high
Country,
fives.
yeah, you can say hi, just don't expect a handshake.
Wow.
You
So-
shake everyone's hand.
I know.
I've literally seen you shake
So
so many
what
people's
we're gonna
hands.
do to
cannot
resolve
say
this
no.
for what we're gonna do to resolve this for you is we're just gonna get you gloves. All right. just for
Yeah,
that.
you can start ushering,
gloves.
and then we'll get you some white
The
gloves.
little white ones will be like,
He said no.
Nah,
No, we're trying to get him into youth ministry again.
yeah.
So like he can just take it away.
No, I can't.
Not
yeah.
well, but I mean, like, I definitely want you to get there when you're ready. And
When you're ready,
feel-
this kid.
No, because I'm just saying, like,
Look at
because I'm just saying, I think you definitely have a lot to give, and I definitely think I should be leaning on you a little bit more because you've already been here. So
Yeah, I mean, lean on Kylie too.
no,
We do.
we do,
Yeah.
We do, yeah. Kylie's such a good leader, like naturally. She just has
yeah.
like so much natural leadership ability. And she's always been like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like as she's gotten older, she's leaning into it a lot more.
Well, she missed it. That's what it is.
Yeah. And she told us that. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you want me here? Just let me know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
And
used to
it's
that.
funny because, like, at first when we started asking her to do like a little bit of stuff, we were like, but it's okay, like, if you can't,
No,
because
she
I
wanted
get
to.
it.
She wants to.
And because we're so like mindful of not wanting to
Like overload
overwhelm
because
her
we're like
because
their
she's
kids,
also like
yeah.
a student. She's in the middle of season.
I think
you
that
know.
we are too. So like we as parents, we will check with her often, like or we'll check her. Like
Yeah.
we'll say, hey, dude, you got this, and this. I don't think it's smart for you to have to do this week. you
Yeah,
know?
because there's a lot going
Yeah,
on.
and
Yeah.
we're, so like we're very cognizant of that because we also we know how it is, right? We
Yeah.
know how
You
to-
get
we know
caught
how-
up
yeah,
real
you know
easily.
how ministry can be if it's done not healthily. Is that a word? Healthily? If it's not healthy,
Unhealthy?
unhealthy. If it's unhealthy, so she's
Yeah.
we definitely advise her on that kind of stuff. But she did miss it. She was the kid that would show up at 5 a.m. when I
Yeah,
would
she was
show
with
up.
you. Yeah.
I used to open that church up first.
She was
person
right
in
next to you.
and turn everything on, get everything going. She was over there making the coffee, setting
Mm-hmm.
things up.
Wow.
If the twins did come with me, they would just be in my office watching like cartoons. But like
They
she
were
was
so little though.
yeah, but
That's
she
so
was setting
weird.
Yeah.
she was setting everything up.
Yeah. She's
and-
like one of our foundational kids. Like
100%, yeah.
we were like, we have our core group and like Kylie's like the girl leader for sure
Yeah,
in that. So
yeah.
it's dope to see.
I love it.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
You have good kids.
You really do.
Your kids are awesome.
You have cool kids too.
I mean,
They're toddlers. It's
yeah.
different. Like I love our kids.
they got
obviously.
mad personality, and that's
Yeah.
Zoe, man.
what it is
She's
right
got
now.
multiple personalities, probably.
Zoe likes us now.
Zoe, yeah, you're like her bestie. I didn't know she ever didn't like you.
Bro, I'm gonna have to tell PA that he's no longer the designated snack holder. It's you.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be sad.
he might be upset. He might be upset.
That's right. He can take over at the games if he goes. So for the rest of the basketball season, catch us in the stands yelling at refs
With Zoe.
Catch me yelling at the cheerleaders to be louder.
louder than us.
yeah.
And catch me yelling at the cheerleader. Like sometimes I'm like, hey, he traveled, do the traveling thing.
yeah. Why aren't you doing the traveling cheer?
Yeah.
And catch us on Sundays at church.
Yep.
This was a great interview. Do you guys have any last parting questions or comments or concerns?
Concern.
Concerns.
I just remember that from school. Like
Questions,
questions,
comments,
comments,
concerns. I say that all the time to my students.
Actually, I have a lot of concerns. Just like
I don't know. Well, definitely just thank you for having us on. Like it was definitely outside of our box that we probably would have done, but we appreciate you wanting us.
You helped
I don't
us
know why you'd want
expand
it.
our comfortability circle.
I don't know why you'd want us on your podcast, but
we spent like an hour talking about it.
we always, it's kind of weird. But no, we love you. Just so you know, we love you and we're really proud of you.
I'm loved.
He is. But we
I'm
do love you. And
cherished.
you're our big bro and we're proud of like all the cool stuff you do. And I can't wait to see what else you're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some clips. That's what I'm gonna do. So
Yeah.
5 years from now, what's your next
Oh,
career
I'm
thing
getting
you're gonna
into
do?
it.
Yeah.
In 5 years, I'll retire somewhere like on an island.
Nah, it's
In
not good
5
enough.
years?
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Because you were a rapper and then a pastor and now real
real
estate,
estate.
and then
You
now
know-
you're doing pods.
you
So I
know-
need to know like full.
You know what I want to do? Yeah, it's a great question. I've been prepping for this. I'm gonna do reaction videos on YouTube pretty soon.
That's a great. I
I
think
would
you'd be
be
good
really
at
good at
it.
those,
I think
yeah.
you'd be because you're very yes.
I
do it.
already do them, but just without being filmed. So like,
Yeah.
You need to.
yeah,
I would watch 'em.
I kind of missed the wave, like the Kendrick Drake beef.
It was a good time.
Created a whole like wave of these reactors who got really, really rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like off of just reacting to these videos. So that's something I'm looking into now because like the hip hop thing, you know, there's a unique perspective when it comes to like both faith and like life, you know, that I can apply to it. And I'm not afraid to clap back at people if I need to, you know, online.
So true.
So that's
It's so awesome though when you do clap back at people, because it's like you've done
Bro,
it.
you're funny.
I'm the pettiest. I'm the pettiest man.
You're funny. You're petty. And
The Facebook pages, like back like during COVID, there were such
you
good
had too much
clapbacks.
time.
Oh, I don't remember those.
They were just good. I was just like, wow, he's good.
Okay.
But yeah, so in 5 years, that's what you're gonna be doing.
Maybe this year. But by this year, I'll be doing that. But in 5 years, I want to be done. Like I just want to be chilling somewhere.
Escape into an underground bunker.
I plan on buying some like rental style like those type of
like
things.
Airbnb type
Maybe
things,
I plan on buying something and just like chilling out a little bit, because real estate is tough. It's like a constant grind. Yeah. That people don't respect. They just don't like, people don't respect my time. It's crazy. Yeah. You wouldn't believe how many people I've spent hours. Like I'm not talking one or two. I'm like 120 hours with them for them to just like, no, I met somebody else last
and you're like,
okay.
Last 2 weeks.
Dude, recently I had one, spent like months with this person. I sold her property, right? Mm-hmm. Where she was buying another property, and she's probably watching this. So she and her husband messed up. They made a mistake with something that's completely their fault, and they ended up not being able to buy the property that they were going to buy. But so they had to wait a little bit. I just found out like this week that they bought a property with somebody else, you know, when they said, oh, we're going to wait off on the holiday. I'm like, dude, like
that's not cool.
Months with you guys, months. And it's like driving around, time, energy, you know, it's
gas,
and that kind of stuff happens like
all the time.
So frequently. There's no loyalty, but everyone expects me to be loyal. And it's like, or realtors to be loyal to their clients. Yeah. And because they think we get overpaid, but they don't realize like, dude, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's
like
work. Nonstop.
Yeah.
We've been out with you at dinner and it's like nonstop. Like you have to like be intentional about like shutting that down.
Yeah.
Work doesn't really stop.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't want to do this forever. I'm just trying to get the bag and
that's fair.
Get the bag and dip.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys. Peace out, guys.
Bye.